subject of video, though, there's a lot of talk. There's a lot of controversy. Sometimes I read comments on the message boards. So a call gets made during a tournament. It's on videotape. You're under serious scrutiny now because people can go back. I'm just picking on you as a referee.
I'm used to it.
Does that mean you make a lot of bad calls?
Nope.
Or
never made a bad call.
But people go back and they scrutinize.
A lot of people out there killing themselves laughing right now.
Exactly. So they're watching that match over and over and over in slow motion to show that, look, Rick Pinkney made the wrong call.
Yeah. Well, I actually had it happen to me. When video first hit the airways, if you remember, back in 2003 when video was really hitting full steam, and we were at the Worlds in Ottawa, and I was refereeing the last match between Travis Bagent and
Alexei Vovoda.
Man, bad names. And
that's what I'm here for.
Exactly, fill in the blanks. And you know, I made it appeared as though Travis had jumped the gun by a mile by the way this video, but we soon found out, depending on how you do that video, convert that onto the website, it distorts the difference between the action and the words. So it looked like Travis jumped the gun by a mile when you put the video footage that you had up, and you were standing right behind me, so you had a better understand, you know what I mean? There was a better understanding of the relationship between the words coming out of my mouth and what was going on. You could see that it hadn't happened, but I mean, I looked like an idiot there for a while because of the video. But yet, like you said, I mean, people always want to stick that video camera in your face. Well, video is one-dimensional. You know, unless you've got video cameras coming from 15 different angles, you can't tell anything you can tell one thing by video, and that's it. I mean, we've proven it time and time again when we do our referee tests, you know, how difficult it is to try to make things look, because video just distorts the view of what people are seeing. People seem to think they're seeing one thing. Well, they do see one thing, and that's it. But I mean, things happen three-dimensionally, not one-dimensionally.
No, it goes back to the same thing. Having refereed quite a few matches, and that's how I got started in arm wrestling. So if I have to watch that match 12 times and 10 of those in slow motion to make a call, then I'm sorry, that referee got one chance, 1/1000th of a second. Did you see it or didn't you make the call?
Exactly. I mean, and I've seen that happen. People slowing it down. I'm sorry, but the match isn't happening in slow motion.
No, definitely not. I mean, I personally think that video is a great entertainment tool.
And a learning tool.
And a learning tool. We get to see tournaments that we would never have a prayer of watching before.
Yeah.
Gary Roberts, Scott McGinnis, whoever else is out there videotaping tournaments and sharing them with the world. Now, you get to see a tournament from halfway across the country you never would have got to see before.
I mean, how many people would have seen the Worlds from South Africa?
Yeah.
Or, you know, or this year, you know, in Bulgaria, how many people, you know, we're going to have, what, 1,000, 1,200 people at the Worlds this year. I mean, how many people around the world would love to see it?
Well, that's
and now
right.
they're going to have the opportunity to see
Well,
it.
exactly. How many people actually got to see the footage from Manchester? I think I had posted almost 20 hours.
Yeah, or Japan.
Or Japan, you know, or I think everything since 2002 we have a record of, and it's there for people to view. But again, I do believe video is a great It's great for entertainment.
Oh, definitely.
Without a doubt. And an arm wrestler can learn a lot from watching his losses.
And the referees too. I mean, you know, I sit back and look and I critique my own matches and say, you know, and I think, geez, you know, I did blow that call, or people make a mention about, you know, they didn't think I made a call right, and I sit back and, you know, and you can say, no, I feel comfortable. I made the right call.
Well, you know what? If you call what you saw, not what you think you saw, just call what you saw.
Exactly.
You know, and I think the law of averages works out. An arm wrestler may feel he gets a bad call this time. Next time he gets a lucky break.
If you're up there for 6 or 8 hours and you've only made one mistake, you've had a good day.
That is a really good day, isn't it?
Yeah.
So that's and I am a huge fan of video, obviously, but. Videotape does lie. I don't think people realize how much video lies, and
we're gonna show that one of these days.
Yeah, how badly it can lie, and how much it can be manipulated.
Yeah.
So the end result always isn't exactly
what you think it was.
what you think it
Yeah.
was. Yeah, I've had guys come to me, yourself included. Geez, I didn't think that's how that match went.
Yeah.
You have
Definitely.
You remember it one way in your head when you watch it on video. Geez, I thought that match went differently.
Yeah.
This is what the video camera saw.
I thought I was doing this. Wow, I didn't. I was doing this.
Yeah, exactly. So, you know, it's great. And again, I mean, if it wasn't for videotape, we wouldn't be able to bring you conversations like this. Hopefully, we've cleared up a few things.
Yeah.
Who knows? So, I think we've covered pretty well everything we need to, unless there's something else you can think of that we
Well, I
haven't.
think just the future of arm wrestling, I think, is something, you know, I think we need to kind of delve into, you know.
I was supposed to change the page. Wasn't I?
There you go. You know, I think arm wrestling's got a really bright future. There's so many guys coming on, and the way arm wrestling's taken off across Europe and stuff like that, it's only a matter of time before it gets passed on to here. And you know, we're trying to go gung ho with our juniors. You know, we run a lot of junior tournaments, not as many as I'd like to run. Plus, you know, I'm trying hard, trying to get into high schools now, which is, you know, just a feeder system for our tournaments down the road. You know, we want to get these 18, 19-year-old kids, 17-year-old kids, you know, coming out of high school, keep them involved. And I mean, arm wrestling's a sport, doesn't cost a lot of money. Get kids into it, you know, they can take it on well into their 40s, 50s, stuff like that. And like I said, I mean, you get out of it what you put into it. So, you know, if you want to go gung-ho, you can, you know, go at it for years. You know, you do it smart. You know, you don't, you know, try to go too crazy and hurt yourself. But, I mean, you know, injuries will happen from time to time.
Okay, well,
but it's a sport that, you know, you can go on forever.
let's talk about that for just a second, because I've heard parents say, well, you know, I don't want my son to get hurt.
Get their arm broke.
Yeah, get their. Yeah, I didn't want to mention that, but.
Well,
yeah,
I mean, that's
get their
what they
arm
say.
broke.
They associate arm wrestling with a broken arm.
But can you name me a sport where you're not going to get hit? Look at football,
Yeah.
hockey.
Yeah.
Everybody loves hockey, and I'm great, you know, proud Canadian. I love hockey too, but boys get injured a lot in hockey.
Oh yeah, concussions and everything else.
Yeah.
You know, and I mean, broken arms, broken legs, you name it. Kids get hurt, and even worse. So I mean, you know, yeah. Usually, the most that happens to the kids is the hurt feelings. You know, and you know they think they hurt their arm when all they really hurt was their feelings, type thing. But I mean, you know, it's a great sport. You know, it teaches respect for your other competitors. Because the one thing about arm wrestling is, you know, people don't allow guys with big heads or girls to run. You know what I mean? They put a stop to it right away. You know what I mean? Everybody has fun. Everybody's friends, stuff like that. And the guys that seem to want to, you know, you don't rub it in people's faces, your wins and your losses and stuff like that. You know, you take your stuff and you move on, and people are helping one another out. And you don't get that in many sports.
I tell you what I found is the camaraderie and the
Exactly.
people willing to show you what you did wrong to try and make you better.
How many sports do you walk away and the guy says, "Geez, if you would have did this, you would have beat me."
Yeah, exactly.
You know what
Usually
I mean? Or
guys
you
wanna
need to
keep that
work
a
on
secret.
this. You know, your wrist is a little weak here. You should get your wrist up. You should, you know, get a little stronger in the hook. You need to work on your top roll, whatever. You know, arm wrestling. You know, guys will teach you that. Where a lot of sports is, he's weak here. I'm never going to tell him because I want to keep continuing.
I want
to
to
beat
keep
him.
exploiting that one thing.
Exactly.
Yeah. So what does arm wrestling need right now to keep it going strong?
Really need a sponsor to step up and, you know, and try to help us get onto television. That's the biggest thing I think we're lacking right now is the lack of television coverage. You know, I don't know why. I think it's exciting to watch on TV. You know, you mentioned earlier about people sitting down and watching a 4-hour tournament. Well, I mean, when it gets condensed down into a half-hour show, you know, there's a lot of excitement, a lot of tough matches and stuff like that. You throw the interviews in there, makes for a great package.
I think that just about covers everything.
Yeah, I think we've gone through a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So I'm not exactly sure where we're going right now. We seem to be running in a couple of different directions.
But we have to. I mean, you know, it's kind of like firing off a shotgun. You know, you got that scatter shot. Well, hopefully, you're going to hit something, and that's kind of, you know, I think what arm wrestling needs to do is just go in all these different directions, see which one's going to hit the target.
Okay, so I know I'd like to wish Dave Devoto and the PAC and Travis Bajent, Viatech, the best of luck, because I really hope they're actually able to achieve what
and
it is.
Let's not forget about the PAL too in Europe, is that they're doing huge things in Europe. So you know, it's we got to keep the Europeans coming, and you know, the Eastern, you know, bloc countries, and you know, the Russians and all of them. I mean, it's just, arm wrestling's huge over there. People don't realize. I mean, this year the Russians alone are going to bring 120 competitors to the Worlds.
120 competitors.
120 competitors to the Worlds.
All I can see is these are going to be long days in Bulgaria.
I mean, that was probably the whole size of the tournament, the amount of people when I first went.
Wow.
Now that's one country.
Yeah, that's just unbelievable. One thing I did forget to mention, and I did want to touch on with you, is the advent of the challenge matches and what some people want to call the super matches, and some of the money associated with some of these super matches. I think you and I both watched via the internet the Travis Bagent, Jerry Caderet, whatever it was, $5,000-$10,000, whatever it was.
Boys are throwing up some serious cash.
So why are arm wrestlers willing to put up money? This is just basically a bet. I bet you $5,000 I can beat you.
Yeah.
And
basically, that's what it's coming down to. Great for the promoter. I mean, he doesn't have to put up a cent.
Well, he's putting on a show,
and
it's not costing him a dime, and everybody wants to come and watch.
Yeah.
So I know you and I actually put on our own event where we footed the bill for everything.
Yeah.
So
we're not too smart, are we?
I guess not. I mean, we had Travis Bagent from the U.S. out of Virginia, Ryan Espy out of Manitoba here in Canada.
Put on a great show.
They did. They put on a great show, but we flew them in.
Yeah.
We put them up in a hotel, and we put up $1,000 prize money. Okay, so who are the stupid ones here?
Yeah, but it was a great show. You know what I mean? And gives us a little bit of exposure, not as much as I'd hoped. I was hoping, you know, I think the timing of the thing was a little bad because there was too many things going on in town that weekend, so we didn't get a lot of publicity out of it. So, but you know, you got to try stuff. Like I said, you know, you got to shoot out and see what you can hit.
Well, you do. So I guess my point, the point I'm trying to get to is, so I don't know, which way is the proper way to go? For the promoter, I guess, if the guys are willing to put up their own money. But
geez, yeah.
You know,
I'd put those tournaments on every weekend.
Well, yeah, if the guys are always willing to put up their own money. And but I'm not exactly sure why the arm wrestlers seem to be so willing to put up their own money.
You got me on that one.
Yeah, this is just a personal opinion, and I don't want to stop anybody's
geez,
challenge
I mean,
matches
it's
from
going great. I mean, if guys are willing to do it, go for it. But yeah, you got me on that. I can't understand why somebody put up their own money to
unless I'm like 98% sure I can beat you.
But then why's the other guy doing it?
Well, yeah,
he must be 98% sure also.
Well, yeah, it's just there seems to be an awful lot of money flying around, you know, amongst guys, and the promoter is the benefit because the promoter gets,
which is good too, because I mean, if the promoter's doing good, then he'll put on another show, you know. So I mean, maybe everybody's winning in that case because maybe the promoter does come out of it good. The venue has a good showing. They want the guy back. They want arm wrestling back. Maybe that will happen.
So it is all a win-win.
Win-win situation. Except for the one guy that lost his own money.
Yeah, and in that one challenge match, the one guy that put up Travis's money ended up losing. So he couldn't have felt too good at the end of the day. But
no, didn't hurt Travis's pocket.
No, and you know what? I guess it was an exciting show. And
yeah, it was definitely a lot of exciting matches in there.
There was. So I guess the next big pro event, I know basically the same sort of weekend that the Worlds get going in Bulgaria is Travis and Viatek. This sounds like a commercial for Viatek and Travis, doesn't it? They've got a big event going on in Vegas, I guess the same weekend.
I don't know why they'd line that up the same weekend. You know, that's the only thing I don't, you know, really care for is when, you know, we're getting two competitions going on the same weekend, you know. If we want the sport to grow, we can't have two big events happening the same weekend.
Competing against one another.
I mean, we've got to work together and have these competitions, even if they're a couple of weeks apart, so people know what's going on. You don't want people avoiding one competition, going the other. You know, both lose in that case.
Yeah, true enough. So, anything else, or?
I think we pretty well covered everything.
Yeah, I think we said that before, but I think you're right this time. Look, I appreciate you sitting down and doing this. It was a lot of fun for me.
It was.
I learned a lot.
Hopefully we got a lot of information out to everybody out there. And I mean, you can always check us out on our website at NovaScotiaArmWrestling.com. Check out our more videos on arm sports, but you've obviously already found arm sport videos if you're watching this.
If you're watching this, yeah, you found us already. So hopefully in the future, we get to, when we go to the Canadian Nationals, we get a few people to sit down in front of the cameras, get their thoughts. I said I don't fancy myself any sort of interviewer at all. I just want to try and get different people's thoughts on where they think arm wrestling is headed, how we're doing, and different things about the rules that they like, dislike, or whatever's going on. Hopefully I can convince some people. I have a pretty good idea in my mind already who I'd like to talk to when we go to the Nationals, go to the Worlds. Maybe we can get Neil Pickup to sit down in front of the camera. Really knowledgeable arm wrestling guy, and just take it from there. The more people we can get interested in sitting down and talking to us, the better. We can get more information out there. And I really think that people really like to hear what some of these influential people have to say, but I think they also want to hear what the average arm wrestler has to say and where they think we're going. So again, thanks to Rick for being the first guinea pig or guest here on In Focus on Arm Sport Videos, and I think that's it, and we're out of here.